All right, everyone, welcome back. This is a second video on nodes and what they do and what they're for. Today, we're going to talk about awakening a node. We're going to talk about stealing power from a node. We're going to talk about channeling power from your node to wherever you want to take it. And then we're going to talk about the guardians of the node, the people or beings that you entrust or, I don't know, entrap into protecting your valuable asset, which is your node. And we're going to talk about that right now.
Role-playing games thrive in fantastic worlds and at inclusive tables that embrace these core values for the most positive gaming experience. Donate to the Wounded Warrior Project via the link in the description below to help, honor, and empower our wounded heroes. On Thursdays and Saturdays, watch Heathen Dog's Dirty Casuals play multiplayer video games over on Twitch. On Sundays and Fridays, join us for tabletop role-playing game content on both YouTube and Rumble. Finally, please take a quick moment to like this video and share it with both your friends and on social media. If you have not done so, please subscribe to Legion of Myth and activate that bell icon to receive notifications of new content.
All right, here we are. And for the advanced usage of nodes, we have to use the Book of Chantries or Chantries, whatever part of the world.
Expanding our horizons.
Expanding your horizons. That's right. So in this book, it talks about more the uses for a node beyond just physical, quintessence to make your magic easier. So we're going to start with awakening a node. That is, when you get a node in your background trait, it is asleep. It is unawakened. It just throws out physical quintessence in the form of tasks every day, week, month, whatever. And that's all it does. But when you awaken it, now it throws out so much energy. You can do so much with it that it becomes extremely useful and at the same time, extremely dangerous. So first, let's take a look at Quintessence supply. Here we go. If your Chantry, your basically headquarters, is built using the creation point rules, which I'm going to gloss over a little bit here, but not. Assume that a Chantry requires total cost of quintessence per day. Keeping track of this probably unnecessary unless the Chantry belongs to players. Again, if you want to use the point system to build your Chantry, you can use it. You can do it with background points in character generation, but let's say we're not doing that. So you don't have a Chantry right now. You have to make one. You make your base, let's say, on top of your node. That's great. Now you want the node to wake up so you can power things in your Chantry. You can divert this vast supply of quintessence into magical effects or things that you need to do. Let's figure out how to do that. Quintessence may come from a single node or from several smaller nodes, though each node must provide at least 10 quintessence per day. That is true. The minimum, if you succeed in opening a node, the minimum it will create is 10 quintessence per day. And
we're going to stack all that.
Again, this book not only allows you to open a node to give you a bunch of quintessence, but it gives you ways to use it. So we're going to go over a lot too. Securing an open node can be tricky. Other supernatural beings, usually werewolves, jealously guard the magic well springs of a node. These are stuff found in the wild. If you bought it with your background, there is no, werewolf standing by, so you shall not pass, or some other nonsense like that. So you got to worry about that. Tapping a new node. Each mage faction has a particular method of opening nodes, but in gameplay, it's basically the same. And I'm going to go over that spell in a little bit. All types of mages agree, however, that the opening of a new portal of Prime, which is a node, is a serious venture, one preferably undertaken by a whole cabal rather than a single powerful master. There's a reason for that. It is an extended action, which means the more people you have, the quicker you get it done. Because if you botch on this, holy hell, you don't want to botch on this. And there's special rules for opening a node. You know how I told you that you can use tasks or quintessence to lower the target number of a magical effect? Yeah. It specifically states, not this one. Target number ranges from 8 to 10 on a 10-sided die. It's hard.
Wait. And 20 or more? What?
20 or more successes are generally necessary to evoke the node.
Oh, but you said it's extended tasks. Never mind.
A botch during any point of this operation unleashes catastrophe. If you botch before you have 10 successes, everyone involved takes two health levels of damage and loses any willpower they may have spent. That's just everyone gets 2 points. Boom, a little explosion. Everyone's fine. You're bruised up. You're banged up. Maybe a broken finger, whatever. But you're going to live. Uh-oh. A botch after 20 successes unleashes a blast similar to paradox energy, inflicting 1 health level of damage per 5 successes gained. Thus, a botch after 25 successes inflicts 5 health levels of damage.
Wow.
This damage is aggravated. Aggravated damage is very hard to absorb if you can at all. So, that's why having more than one node power whatever you want to power is safer. Because when you get to 20 successes, the safe play is to stop. Dude, you've already won. Cash in your chips.
Nah, one more. Gotta do it, man. Lady Luck, sign it on me.
What if you do keep gambling? What if you do? If the mages score a minimum number of successes and avoid becoming toast, the node will yield 10 points per day. For each success beyond the minimum, 5 more points are gained daily. It's a big payoff to gamble. But one botch and you're dead. See, this is one reason why after this book came out, nodes garnered during background are not wanted anymore, because everyone can pool their stuff together to get a 5-point node. That's great. And then we kill ourselves trying to make this node power everything we want. Everyone can get a little node here and there, little bitty node, awaken them one at a time as safely as possible, and then merge their power together to get the amount of power they need to fuel what they want to do. But how do you do that? How do you aggregate all these nodes' powers together into one place? That is called ley lining. And we're going to get to that right now.
I told the Rifts people they would like this.
Where is it at? It's supposed to be around here somewhere. 151 maybe. Nope, that's the spell. Damn it.
But let's be honest, while he's looking this up, it wouldn't be a 1-for-1, but you could use the ideas in this book for a nexus in Rifts.
Yes, it could very well be. Oh, crap. Accessing, here we go. Task is easy to get, assuming the mage recognizes it for what it is. If you have 1 point in prime, which is able to sense the building blocks of reality, you'll be able to look at a physical manifestation, quintessence, and go, holy crap, that's task. You'll be able to see it. Whenever a mage wishes to draw quintessence from a node without establishing a link, you're considered raiding it. I'm going to get into that in a second. But there is a power called laying of the line. There it is. Ley lines are the easiest and safest way to maintain the supply of power. Once a mage creates a ley line, destroying it is difficult. Creating the line requires a rote like laying the line, giving at the end of this chapter, which I'm going to get into. When ley lines are created, the Chantry usually sends a group to collect the quintessence from here. Okay, no, I'm going to skip over all that. The spell laying of the line allows you to make an invisible line of power or conduit of power from that node to where you want it to go. You can do that for multiple nodes to make them go to the same place. All that power will be siphoned into one place to be used however you want. The cool thing is taking a power from the ley line, number one, if you can find it, which is hard, excuse me, you find it, which is hard. And two, it's almost impossible to tap into the conduit. You either have to be at the end result where the power is going or where the power is coming from, which is the node. But this is how you merge multiple nodes' powers together into one place. Usually it's somewhere in your fortress, your chantry. Usually it's somewhere there because it's most protected. Obviously, it's your house. So that's how you do it. And each success in laying of the line lays 1 mile of magical conduit. So you don't need a lot of successes if you're within a few miles of your node. But if you found a node on the other side of the world, it's going to take you a minute to get that all around, because there's no storyteller in the world who's going to let you cheat and go through the center of the earth. No, you got to go around the top, just like everybody else.
So, but if I dig a hole, isn't it considered on the top? And
no, sorry, buddy. Oh. That's not going to work out. So that's how you get the power from the node to where you want it. Now, stealing the power, that can be done. New wrote, awaken the sleeping earth. This is opening a node, awakening a node, so it just spits out 10 or more quintessence per day. You need at least prime 3 and matter 3 to do this. Again, when you buy it as a background, you're starting off. You may not have both of these at 3. You probably won't, because it's expensive. But as you play and you get prime 3 and matter 3, then you can awaken the node and you can access its power. Now, hand of the siphoner, that is stealing power from a node. Let's see how it works.
1 matter.
you need prime 3 and matter 1. It's easier to take than it is to create. Everyone knows that. Raiding requires a mage to touch physically the center of the node on Earth. That means you have to infiltrate into the node itself. Get there, plant your foot, and say, I claim this land in the name of Spain, or whatever you're claiming the land in the name of. The difficulty is equal to the resistance rating for the node. Get to that in a second. Each success gives the mage 1 point of quintessence from the node, up to the maximum it gives per day. Many mages have special talismans that serve as batteries onto which they can place the drained quintessence. Raiding only works on nodes that are currently awakened. So a sleeping node, all you can do is collect all the tasks, the magic water or mushrooms or crystals or whatever that it throws out every day, and run away with that. That's all you can do. The danger is that almost all awakened nodes are owned and guarded by somebody. The Garu, or werewolves, are especially dangerous. In addition to guardian spirits, werewolves often keep permanent watch over their sacred cairns. Beware their rage. Fairies are nearly as bad, with their strange protections and the confusing nature of most of their magical wells. So, an awakened node, if you run across one, you're like, oh, my lucky day. No, it's not. It's not your lucky day. Nodes are not awake by accident. They are not. It's a purposeful thing. That means it's somebody's, and they're going to be pissed.
Could you use correspondence to actually do this from range instead of having to be there directly?
Normally, I would say definitely yes. But it specifically says it requires the mage to physically touch the center. That means you would have to physically be there. Now, if you had correspondence 4 or 5, where you could actually be at 2 places at once,
yep.
Then yes, you could, but you're not mitigating any danger because you are actually there as well. That means you can actually be killed by whatever's at that node. So it's not any safer. It's not. It's just as bad. But stealing power from a node, if you need a quick fix, you make a battery, and there's rules for creating talismans that are just quintessence batteries.
Quintessence heroin.
You take it with you. You use this hand of the siphoner. You drain the node. Remember, if it's awake, it's going to be at least 10 points of quintessence. That's a big haul. Throw that in your battery and run away, like fast. You could do that. That's good. It's inherently dangerous. But if you have your own node, it's really cool. You go in there and you every day you drain 10 and put it in a battery, and you can use it however you want. That's one way to do it. And for early campaign mages, that's an excellent way to do it. You make your base of operations on top of that node, and every day, every morning at sunrise, you go in there and you siphon off 10 quintessence so it doesn't just leak out into the air. And you put it in a battery and you use it however you want to use it. It's great. It's a great deal. It's an awesome deal. You should take it.
Until you're caught.
Well, if you bought it with your own background points, you're fine. Until it's taken from somebody else is going to raid it. Somebody else is going to try and raid it. Like I said, awakened nodes are easier to spot. Someone's going to try to take it from you. Someone's going to try and siphon off quintessence from it and then run away. It's going to happen. So you need someone to protect it. Well, we got that someone. You're a mage, man. You can do whatever you want. You could get guardians. Maintaining nodes. Once a chantry controls a node, the mage must guard it. The mage must guard it against all comers. Many mages assign, notice this in quotes, supernatural creatures to protect the node, sometimes by bribery or goodwill, often by force. These guardians feed from the node. The more powerful the guardian, the bigger the appetite. Chantries try to balance the defense of the node against the cost of the defense. In the long run, guardians could siphon more quintessence than any thieves could. Not all guardians are willing servants. Okay. Now, the book goes a little wokey here. Okay. This was 2000. All right. So this is weird, but it is historically accurate in all fiction that wizards, powerful wizards, conjure up beings from other dimensions, spirits, demons, angels, whatever, and bind them to their service. This is a common trope. And that's exactly what mages do in this game. They can call up a spirit. You have spirit, whatever dots, mind, whatever dots you need. And you can summon a spirit, bind it to your will, and even bind it to a place. And you tell it, hey, guard my stuff. And it goes, okay. And it does it. Here we get a little wokey. I don't like it, but here we go. Not all guardians are willing servants. A being bound to a certain place or duty tends to resent it. I don't care. I'm a mage. I control reality. You're part of reality. Suck it up. Mages binding spirits or other powerful beings should be aware of the enmity of their captives. An angry guardian might steal all the node's quintessence if it breaks free, or might channel that power into magics of its own. These dangers aside, enslaving other creatures to do one's dirty work is just plain low, even if it is traditional.
Up until then, I didn't agree with you.
Nope, here we go. It gets worse. The storyteller might assert her own feelings of justice in such cases.
Oh, Jesus.
Stop it. That's bad game mastering. Don't do that. Keep your personal feelings out of your game. It's not you. It's a different world, a fictitious world that isn't hurting anyone. Don't get butt hurt about something that didn't actually happen. Stop it.
Yeah, at first I was like, I mean, that's a common trope. You lose control of the summoned creature or whatever, and it gets angry. I get that. I'm like, I don't know where the woke stuff comes in, and then okay. We should call it, because of the year, we should call it progressive because woke didn't exist then yet. But that is nonsense. That because you already inferred that an angry guardian might steal all the node's quintessence, whatever. You already inferred that there could be some background.
Yeah, you've already said that there's dangers to getting an unwilling servant. But the last part of the paragraph saying that the storyteller should put her own sense of justice into this is bullshit.
The only three, so there are 3 words, literally 3 words in those last 2 sentences that are appropriate and make sense. It is traditional.
There you go. That's it. That's how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. And if you want an example of a guardian that you can properly slave, I don't want to say enslave, but properly slave. That is right here, the guardian
summoned
chart.
And bind to your bill. Ooh, I remember this.
This is the power level of the spiritual being that you can have guard your node. Each power level is 10 quintessence, I believe. Let me make sure. The feet on, oh yeah, at a rate of 3 points per power level. So power level 1, to have him there and keep him alive and bound, it takes 3 quintessence per day. Out of 10, you still have 7 left, and you have some safety and security at your node. Not a lot, but some. That's a good deal. Then you go up to 8, the ultra powerful. No one's getting by this guy. He is, he is the metaphorical wall that no one can get by. But he's power level 8. That's 8 times 3. That's 24 quintessence per day. That's probably not a single node. That's a lot of nodes for one guardian. You better have a super node. I mean, you must have rolled the dice a lot. Remember, 20 successes equals 10 per day. 21 equals 15. 22 equals 20, and so forth. But if you botch at any point, you're basically dead at that point. You're basically dead. Just dead zone. Done. So
go big or go home.
Go big or go dead is basically what this one is. Not go home, it's be dead. Go big or be dead. So if you went big and you won, and your node is giving out 30 or 35 quintessence a day, then you can afford an ultra powerful 8, 9, 10 level guardian and go happy duty hoorah. Because no one's going to be stealing your stuff. Nobody.
Except the guardian.
Well, yeah, and if you built your house on top of this node, the guardian will protect your house too. No one's getting in your house, man. No one. Sorry. You're paying for it though. Out of the 30 or 35 quintessence that you generate, you're giving 24 to this guardian. So, that leaves you with what? Between 6 and 11? That's it? For whatever you want? And between 6 and 11 is not enough, because in the next video, we're going to talk about creating your own pocket dimension, which you can do with enough quintessence. The only way to get that is through a node. Well, the only way to reliably get that is through a node. If you want to, say, steal power from other people's nodes every single day to power your pocket dimension, because you got to do it every day, I guess that's on you, but that's not sustainable. The only sustainable way to make your own pocket dimension is to have a fully awakened node, usually more than one. And next video, I'm going to talk about doing just that. So what do we have for start comments?
Couple at the beginning, couple at the end that I got. So Crafting Gamer, right before we started here, said, question as a mage, can you learn a little bit of blood magic, or is it a one or the other? This is going back to that Tremere conversation between videos.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe I didn't make it clear. Blood magic is a joke to a true mage. A complete joke. You wouldn't want to learn it. It's like, hey, I have 18 fighter jets and I can fly them really, really well. But you know what? I don't know how to ride a bike. I should learn how to ride a bike. No one's going to learn how to ride a bike if they own and can fly fighter jets. It's not going to happen. A bike cannot get you anywhere that the fighter jet or your legs cannot do better. I'm sorry. No. It's a joke. Blood magic is a joke.
Okay. Chimerian says the fight to actually improve reality makes Mage so much more interesting.
That is an alternate end game for a campaign. The written campaign is the end of days type thing, because it's all emo and oh boohoo stuff like that. But if you want to fight the evil tradition, I mean evil technomancy, sorry, as a tradition mage to make reality better for everyone, and that's your end goal, do it, man. Lower, as a storyteller, you got to lower the angst and up the hope. And you can do that. The system allows for that. It's awesome.
I still go with the technocracy.
I understand.
What happens if an awakened node guardians have died?
Okay, two things happen. One, you now have a surplus of quintessence every day. That's the good news. The bad news is after today, you'll have no quintessence because the guardian was killed by somebody, and that somebody is now taking your node away.
And it was obviously stronger than your guardian.
It was obviously stronger than your guardian, so you might have some troubles.
And finally, oh my God, that cost. What party can afford 14 backgrounds at creation? I think there's a back.
The thing is, it depends how big your party is. How big is your party? Chantry and nodes as a background is pooled by everyone in the party. So everyone can donate whatever spare points they have. If you have six players in your party and each of them donates 2, that's 12 right there. That's doable. If you're doing the character creation point-based system for making your node and chantry and guardian, all that stuff. That is an alternate way to do it rather than holistically by doing it through gameplay, casting your spells, making your successes, stuff like that. If you want to do it that way, then no, you don't have to spend anything. Except maybe on the node to make it safe. I would go after a safe node, one I bought with a background, but do everything else holistically through gameplay, and it's very cheap.
I'm gonna tackle this first, but I want you to correct me where I go wrong, okay?
Okay.
So Crafting Gamer says, I take a max view on this. Occasional low-key spell might be useful. I think you're mistaken on something here. And again, you guys can correct me if I'm misreading your comment or if I'm getting the game wrong. First of all, blood magic like that wouldn't be low-key necessarily. I think somebody put the Verbana. I was thinking the Euthanatos, but Verbana, the Euthanatos, they both can use blood in their spells, but low-key and mage means coincidental.
Yeah.
And then vulgar magic, which should be something that just breaks reality. If somebody saw it like, wait, what? That would be your high-powered magic. The blood now you could use as a Verbena or a Euthanatos. You could use blood as a focus though, which gives you, is it extra die or is it lowers the target number, whatever it does.
Well, if blood is your focus, you get a -1 to the target number and something else I forget. But
yeah, I forget too.
The main thing that we want to hit is that blood magic, like actual vampire Tremere blood magic, doesn't break reality. They can use it all day. It doesn't invoke paradox. And a mage with a couple of spheres, a couple of dots and a couple of spheres can recreate anything a blood mage can do. Anything a Tremere mage can do with blood magic, all a true mage needs is a couple of dots and a little imagination, and he can do all of it. Just like that. The most powerful Tremere blood magic in the world is something a novice mage can do on a whim. It's that weak.
We'll knock out these last two and then we'll go into the last video. So Das Frater says, are the Arcanum from the Halls of Arcanum still kicking around?
That's beyond the scope of this video.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what it is, so I didn't know. But he also has the Dasferatu name. You know, I just had to say that again.
That is nice. That's a good name. That's a good name.
And Michael Watts, who's the big bad in this game?
Oh, that's up to the storyteller. Really, it's up to the storyteller. The end result, the world is the enemy. The world is the enemy. In Old World of Darkness, it's the world. But for your campaign, your storyteller can choose one of many enemies to be the main big bad. The technocracy who is trying to force reality into a technological view, a scientific view of magic, because it's more easily controlled. Or the Nefandi, who are mages whose souls were broken by things that live outside the universe and want to come in.
Basically demons. That's the way I looked at them, was demons.
Yeah, demons, like Cthulhu-esque demons. Yes. Or the Marauders, mages who have gone insane, so much so that they believe their own lies and paradox skirts around them. So they can do things that are obviously magic, but paradox pays them no mind. because their belief in it is so strong. Paradox leaves them alone.
I tried so hard to let Heathendog let me become one. He's like, no.
No, because they're all batshit crazy insane, and they're not 4-player characters.
Yeah.
You know, so you have lots of choices, and you as a storyteller get to choose who the big bad is. Or at the end, if the big bad is just going to be the world. Each of the old World of Darkness games got their own end times book.
Yeah, the Gehenna stuff.
The Gehenna, Apocalypse, Ascension, all the 3 big ones got their own end times book.
And guess who covered them a few years ago?
Yeah, I covered them on this channel a few years ago, so you can check them out. Mage, one of them was everyone in the world ascended, and all of their avatars merged into one. It was very, if you've watched Evangelion, the anime Neo Genesis Evangelion, it's very much like that, where all human souls merge together to become one being. It's kind of like recreating God. Like God split himself up to create the souls of man. And once everyone is ascended on the same level, they merge again to become God again. It's something like that. That's one of the possible endings given in that book. Another ending is the world ends in fire and death. The Nefandi win. The technocracy wins. The Marauders win. All the bad stuff that could happen too. Of course, I consider me merging my soul with billions of other people also losing. But it depends on your outlook, I guess.
All right, and one other thing is he also did a comparison, or somewhat of a comparison, between the old Mage the Ascension versus Mage the Awakening. Is that what the new one's called? Something like that? Where he proved, I'm not even going to say gave evidence of or shared his opinion. I'm going to say he proved that Mage the Ascension is leaps and bounds better than Mage the Awakening. And if you have a separate opinion to that, you should go check yourself into some hospital somewhere because there's something going wrong.
See, I was so persuasive that he is not open to arguments.
There are no arguments unless you are a marauder. You're insane.
Nice.